Drop the pen. So, how are you all doing today? Good morning, Robert. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel. I am Art Walker 170, and we are going to be. How you doing, Spy? How you doing, Andrew? So, nice early start today. For me, it's 7:30. Is it 7:30? Oh no, excuse me. It's 8 o'clock. But it's all good. It's all good. Pumped up, ready to go. A nice early night last night. Just stood up a bit early. No, the first 5 minutes, I'll probably start talking and talking and talking. So the first 5 minutes, you'll be able to just sit and just relax, drink your coffee, and then the last maybe 15, then you have to get involved. Oh, you're on holiday. Oh, that's nice. So you've got some time then to relax later on. So what are we going to do today? I had a live stream yesterday, and some people asked me about drawing flames and fluids. So that's what we're going to look at today. How you doing, Mazzy? You ready? You were in the live stream yesterday. That's right. We're going to cover flames and fluids. So I had a little practice earlier. So I was practicing because I like to practice just before I go online, just so I know what things I want to cover. So basically, we're going to study a bit of smoke. Then we're going to study a bit of flames. And then we're going to study fluids. So we've got I've got a couple of examples here. So we have to try and work out. I have to work out how I can best make you guys understand how to draw this type of thing, right? So I think I've got a little bit of a system guide. As you guys and girls know, I do this for free, right? So I'm encouraging anyone. I want to encourage any and everyone to draw. I'm a teacher by trade. Became a teacher. Oh, Mira, what are you doing up so early? You can relax. I always do the early ones. Always get a lot of traction with the early ones. So as you know, I do this for free. So all I ask you guys and girls to do is to simply like, repost, and share. And if you ever use any of these techniques, simply mention me, because I'd love to see what you do. So if you like what you see, I always say it like this: if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. Good. So we haven't started anything yet. So now, I hope no one is it's not really horror, but here I have an image here. I'll put it closer to the camera. I don't want to adjust my camera yet, but as you can see, I've incorporated some fluids. It's not, I suppose you could call it an art piece, but it was an art experiment. So what I did, I just drew a skull and I decided to alter it and make it look like a fluid type material and so on. So this is the kind of level that I can hopefully take you to. Yeah, exactly, like a melted candle. And that's a very good observation. Yeah, exactly. It's like he's melting and stuff like that. So I draw stuff like that from time to time to experiment. So like now here, I could show you this sneak peek, but that's something slightly different. Because when I usually draw with fluids, I tend to draw zombies, unfortunately. So I hope I don't give anyone nightmares. So this is another piece that I've sketched up. You can see I've added fluid and some motion into the image. Whoops, excuse me. See? And that's what I've worked on here, right? So these are a couple of examples as to how you can use fluids, for example. Here, as you can see, I've drawn a shoulder and it's almost, as you say, it's got like a wax on it. And here is like some sort of material that the hand is grabbing. You can see that, right? So these are the kind of little things that we can get involved in and experiment with. Well, oh, yes, another one. I forgot I had this one. So unfortunately, it's another, kind of scary guide. But look, you can see he has, well, I've got some variations. This one is more kind of aggressive. And this one, you can see something is dripping without getting too graphic. So that's the direction we're going to go in. So I think that was all I wanted to show you for now. So now I'm going to get involved and show you how I do it. So everyone got a pen and paper? Thank you. Everyone got a pen and paper? I might actually do it in pen so you can see a bit clearer. Good. So what are we going to start with? Let's start with fire. Everybody happy? So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. So how do I draw fire? What I would do, I would definitely recommend warming up. I'm going to go pencil. I would definitely recommend warming up the pen or pencil, whatever, just to kind of get your brain into fire mode, let's say. And I would practice a few swirly lines like that. So if you do that now, that will help you later on. It's like warming up a car and swirl it in different directions. I believe if you just jump straight into drawing it, it can actually, I don't know, it's not, I don't think it's right. It's just like jumping straight into the splits. Thank you for the follow, Lauren, and thank you for the share, Spy. Much appreciated. So, you don't just jump into your training. You do a little bit of a warm-up, don't you? So this is like what I would do as a warm-up, especially if I know I want to draw a specific type of thing. I try to mimic the strokes of that type of thing. Is that clear to everyone? I'm just going to see if that's clear. If it's clear, just hit the like button, or just say yes. And then I know what's going on. I'm not looking for a co-host yet. Sorry, not looking for. I just started live stream. Sorry, mate. I can't accept that yet. But thank you for asking. So good stuff. Okay. So if we look at this here, we've got a standard flame, right? And all that is simply, if you imagine a teardrop, that's basically what that is. And I'm not observing any references, but I know that the flame has a core, and it's usually like a blue color. And then we could also add some sort of match or piece of wood or something like that, just to sell it a little bit more, right? So we can add our matchstick, add some texture to it, and then we have something that represents or looks similar to a flame on a stick. You're good, so you're ready to rumble. Good stuff. So this is how we can just basically add very, very small details. Like, for example, I'm just going to make this look a little bit more like wood. And it helps to sell the fact that this is actually a flame. This flame here is slightly, I find it a little bit too straight. Flames usually, they wobble a little and they peak out and bend, right? So this is something you have to experiment with. And obviously, when you're drawing a flame, it's affected by the wind. So if we had some wind coming from this direction, very slight wind, it would actually alter the shape. So you have to think about that when you're drawing your flames. This is simply a match. It's not a flame as such, but it's a very small flame. And it's tilting slightly that way. So what we could do is let's tilt it even more. All I'm doing is altering the shape to tilt it in this direction. So automatically you feel, yeah, this is being blown to my left. So if that was, I don't know, in a cave or something, and then we had these wooden torches stuck into the wall. Let's draw some random wall here. It would look like we've got a flame being blown in this direction. Obviously, I'd add a lot more detail and make it almost looks like an Olympic torch. I have a cheesecake that tastes like tiramisu. That must be off. Only questions. I don't want to know what you're eating. Any questions about this stuff, what we're doing here? You're always eating. You and Kira are always eating. This is your eat up treff. Oh, I'm speaking German. Meet up. Eat up, meet up. Any questions about what I've done up until now? Thank you for the follows, VRO and Pustiana, excuse me. Any questions? Ask now. So we've got our torch. We're going to build up on this now, right? So bear with me. Daniel, how you doing? Yes. Any questions? I got it yesterday. It must be all right then. It shouldn't taste like tiramisu, that's for sure. Because tiramisu has coffee in it. So, any questions? Because now we're going to go a little bit deeper. Okay. But you don't worry, you'll catch me again, for sure. I'll probably, not this evening. I won't be doing this evening. I'll probably just do this morning, unfortunately. But tomorrow I'll be around pretty much all day. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. I've got a few things I need to work on. So, no questions? Okay. I do like when people say yes or no. It does give me a little bit of an idea that you are all awake and enthusiastic. So there you go. Okay, let's keep going. So now I am going to draw a flame. As I said, I practiced one yesterday. This morning. Here, these strokes here are going to come in very handy, right? Because when I draw fire, I don't have a reference in front of me. I haven't got one now. I just simply go with the feeling, right? So if I go like this, this is purely instinct. And then what I try to do is I try to make sure that I change or vary the directions and vary the lengths. And then I would usually do it in phases, right? So what I'm doing now is phase 1. And as you can see, I'm using very long curves to keep it as natural as possible. So this would be phase 1. And you could probably say, it looks like fire, but it doesn't really look like fire. However, phase 2, I would look at it and think, this is too long. this is maybe I need to break this up. So that would be phase 1. Then I would go phase 2. And phase 2 would be to add extra flames to the areas that I feel are not the way I want them to be. Then I would add flames that are breaking away from the main source of the fire. And you can also see it becomes a little bit more complex quite easily. So I'm going to add to here. And then I'm going to add to here, because you have to imagine it's connected, but it's breaking away. And then we have a flame behind. And now it's looking a little bit more realistic. And then obviously we'd add something. Depending on what style you want to do it or how much detail you want. And then I would pretty much be happy with that. Depends how raging you want it as well. That's also a factor. If that is some sort of campfire. Because that helps to sell your artwork with regards to, if this is a campfire, you add the stones, right? Because then automatically we assume, oh yeah, you can recognize what that is. That is a campfire, and let's add some wood. Now we're just translating that information that it's got wood here. You could even draw a piece that actually looks like a piece of wood just to sell it even more. And then we have our fire. Fire starter. Thank you for the follows. Has anyone got any questions? Anyone got any questions? But as you saw, I literally started, and please ask questions, because if you don't, you'll be lost, right? So you see, I start like this, and now I have a flame again. So all you're using really are curved lines, and it needs to be quite sharp. Is everyone getting that? 0 questions. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. You know what I would suggest? I would suggest starting with wherever the fire is coming from. Say, for example, if you have some sort of pipe, let's draw a pipe. I don't want to say a weapon. So if you've got a pipe like so, then you have to think about, how does the fire behave? So if this is our pipe like that, you have to think in advance, okay, there's fire coming from it. How would fire leave this pipe? And then you think, okay, well, it would go straight up, right? It would go something like this. You see? And this pipe has got some fire leaving it. In the same way that if you're thinking of smoke is very similar as well. Smoke, if we have some sort of pipe, you think to yourself, how does smoke leave this pipe? So we're going to give our pipe a thickness, or this could be a cigarette, right? Let's say it's a cigarette. Okay, let's add. I'm going to turn that into a cigarette. Just quickly. So, turning that into a cigarette. Obviously, we're not using color, so it doesn't look as effective, right? So now what we do is we have to think about how smoke behaves. And smoke is quite similar to fire, but it's not as aggressive. It's softer. It has softer arcs. And that's how I draw smoke. And it's more of a it's more curly and soft. It fattens out a little bit, you know, and it's a more gentle element to look at. It breaks away, similar to fire, but it has a softer energy. Do you understand what I mean? It fades in parts. See, they're quite similar, but not the same. You can't see the detail. I'm gonna get a new camera tomorrow, so hopefully, whoops, sorry. Right, so there you go. I'm gonna get a new camera tomorrow. You see that? And then we've got the smoke here. And yeah, unfortunately, I have to film it like this because I'm wondering if I could go. Let me see. No, then I can't draw. That's the problem. I've got a few issues with my setup because I need to have the camera like this. Before it used to be always that way, but then it doesn't help me when I want to publish on YouTube. So this is why it's a little bit further away. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap. Maybe I'll draw it with the blue Bic, so you can see it again. So if we have, oh no, you know, I'll do it here. I'll do it here. So if we have a flame here, like I've got an example here, right? And I want to add some smoke. I would definitely take a look at what smoke looks like. And with smoke as well, sometimes it has darker areas and then whiter areas or more gray areas. So this is what you can also show, where it slightly goes inwards, comes back out. You know, it's got this tone to it. And I would do it like that. You see, it's almost like hair. It's almost like hair, but spend a bit more time looking at it. And obviously with fire here, you've got, let me go over this actually. I'm gonna build on this fire here, these flames. So I'm just building on these flames. And what I try to do is make it look like the flames were connected before. Like this was connected with that. So I'm going to connect something with this here. So it almost looks like the embers are floating away. Do you see what I mean? I don't just draw everything random. I draw things that they almost look like they were connected. And so on. And obviously when you start using color, you can see obviously what is at the back and what is at the front, but maybe you have to also shade some flames that are behind, so your fire doesn't look so flat. So if I shade there, I'm going to shade it here. My fire, it looks like it's got more depth to it. Thank you, Alexia. Thank you very much. Has anyone got any questions? Right, so let's practice a little bit of, like now, I'm just practicing some smoke. And I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not drawing full lines. I'm breaking the lines up a little bit. You see, I've actually broken the lines up. You see that? It's different than the flames. The flames are here, the smoke is here. So I like to break the lines up. And then obviously not press as hard. I like it to be more like a softer, more subtle element. Because usually if you have a some smoke, chances are you would be able to see what's behind it as well. Because smoke is not very dense. It's quite transparent. Off you go. See you then. How do you give... When I'm not misunderstanding you. You mean this type of pen, right? How do you give... I'm not sure. I am not sure, but if I think, let me just try. I have to, well, I'm just going to brainstorm this now, so I could fall on my head. But if you have, right, let's just use one of these as an example. So this is our match or our stick, and we want to add a flame to it or a fire. You know what? Let me just try. You need to exercise. Do you need to exercise like this, or do you need to exercise like that? So let me just think now. We would have our flame like so. Even though it's going into that one, let's draw a flame. I'm just trying to brainstorm it first. Oh, that's a shame that that's in the way. So if this is our flame, all right, so we're good with that. And now, how would we make it look? Right, I'm just going to experiment now. I think what might work. Hope I don't fail here. I'm going to test something quickly. Didn't expect this one because I've never really done it, so I'm just going to test it very quickly. And usually I would have to do this myself. Yeah, I think you can work it in that way. I think so. I'm not sure if I've helped you there, but I think you have to work the opposite. Like, so for example, here, we've got our light source here, the flame, and then we work on the shadows at the back. I think I would dabble in that direction. Don't know if that helped you. Both. Thank you. Yeah, I think I would work like that. You see that? And then obviously we can cut into our flame like so. If we cut into the flame, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. So if you like what you see, hit the like button. And that's, you see, I think that's pretty much what you need. I would do it like that. So if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. But I would do a couple of test runs first. And maybe you don't have to do it like that. You can maybe do it. Let's do it again. We get the fur. Then we've got our flame. And then we can add a, that's more like a hatching exercise. But I think this way is better. Not as chaotic. That's a little bit too chaotic. But you can use these rays. I would go down this road. I would practice that. So, any other questions? And 100% look at references. 100%. The more you can study something, the better. Because this, for me, is very cartoonish. It's not very realistic, but it would do for what I need it for. Yeah. So let's go into fluids. So if you want, you should do this yourself. Draw like a, I don't know, let's call it a pipe. 2 pipes, and we'll do another one here. If I draw a fluid like this, I'm gonna, let me think. And then I've got another idea because I was looking at it earlier on, and I draw another fluid like this. You have 2 different types of fluid, right? Give me a moment. I just have to do something. Check out these. What are the differences between fluid 1 and fluid 2? These 2 here. 1 minute. So back again. So what are the differences between those 2? Well, this one is thicker. Do you see that? It's a thicker fluid. So this is what you have to think about. This looks almost like a slime. It's heavier. So if you want thin fluids, you have to make them very flat and very thin. Do you see what I mean? That's a thinner fluid. And almost like a teardrop. When you see a teardrop, you can see it's a thin fluid. If you want a thicker fluid, it's more like a blob. Do you see that? That's important because that looks like a heavier material than this. So bear that in mind when you are drawing fluids. And if, like I drew on here, I'm going to show you here. If this fluid here, number one, was on the surface here, let's just go like so. It would lift off the surface as well. So it would look like that. It wouldn't be flat on the surface. You see that? So that's a thicker fluid purely because it's almost like a, not a mound shape, but it has a thickness. And then obviously you can illustrate that and make it look like it has a thickness. This is a thicker fluid, so that one would be this one. That would be flat, very flat. So that would be more like a water type. How you doing, mate? You understand now? Yeah, I'm usually on in the mornings. I'll be on tomorrow morning as well. I'm usually on in the mornings. Good morning, Sanja. You can ask questions now. I'm still here. Still in bed. Oh, really? Oh, lucky you, mate. God, dear. Sanya, excuse me. Sanya. Good morning, Nico. So, any other questions about what we've done up until now? Let me see. What else did I look at this morning? Because I've got my notes here from this morning. So that's literally what I wanted to cover with you guys today. I'll let you guys type in a few things as I scribble away. Okay, good. Worked until 1 a.m. Oh, that's bad. That's not good, mate. No need to be sorry, Jack. Why are you sorry? Because you have to leave, or no. So I'll probably go for another 5 minutes. Have I got two? God, this paper's thick. I didn't realise. I thought I had 2 pieces of paper there. Let me feel. That's what I didn't show you. That's what I forgot. So here, should I save that? So look at this. If we want to draw a fluid, let's say that is the floor. Alexia, bye-bye. Yeah, the weather's changing, mate. It is changing. So if we have a fluid dropping from here, let's just draw some sort of pipe, right? So we've got a fluid and it's hitting this surface here. So the impact zone would be roughly here, right? What I would normally do, I would encourage you to get a reference image as well. But if you can't be bothered, like I usually can't be bothered, I'll just draw the splashes like this. I don't draw splashing fluids much, but it does have its own sort of behavior. And you just have to try and mimic that. And then you have to elongate these teardrop shapes. connect them slightly. And then you've got a splash. Would you not agree? I could even draw another droplet here and add another one here. So it sells the splash. You can't really. This is annoying, man. Oops. This is so annoying. I never get this right. It never works right. Look, yeah. I need to get this camera. This is really getting on my nerves now. It's really getting on my nerves. That's maybe why people are bouncing, mate, because they can't see anything. That's so annoying. Because I need to... I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. So... Is that... yeah, maybe you can see that better. It's the camera angle. I might even just switch it back, seriously, because this is really getting on my nerves. And then, if anything, I'll just do the YouTube videos another time. I'm getting to that point now, because I want to generate the interest now. I can't be messing about with this little rubbish camera. You know what? I'm going to ditch that. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. I'm just going to